Hi there, sports fans. This is PlayItRight TV, and I'm Kinito Henson. Welcoming back my partner, Diane Castillejo.
Hi everybody, welcome back to PlayItRight TV. We're super excited to talk to our guest. He's a regular on our show, but we always have such an enriching conversation when he's with us. Needs no big introduction. The head coach of Pinas Pilipinas, also head coach of the multi-awarded basketball coach of the country. Please welcome back to PlayItRight, Coach Chot Reyes.
Woo!
Coach.
Hey, Coach Chot.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Kinito. Thanks for having me again.
Okay, I'm firing the first question, Coach Chot. First of all, how was practice today? This is your second Monday only practice for the Gilas pool. And but before you answer that question, let's flash on our screens the pool of players that you've assembled in preparing for the coming FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers. We've got all the names here listed. Some of the interesting names that we have here are newcomers: Deshaun Winston, Amos. There's also Jerome Lastimosa. Jordan Heading is coming back. And okay, Coach, we'll leave the floor to you. How was practice today? Your second. And secondly, what about this pool and the newcomers? How are they coming along?
Yeah, well, we had 13 guys tonight. As you know, the Japan players are still not here, as well as Kai. And then Jerome Lastimosa, Kevin Kembao, and Francis Lopez are in Dubai with that strong basketball team playing in that Dubai Invitational. Ange Kwame and Calvin Oftana were sick, so they couldn't make it as well. So we had 13 guys here, the 4 guys from Ginebra, 2 guys from Meralco, Roger Pogoy, Arvin Tolentino, Carl Tomayo, and then Shawnee Winston and Mason Amos were here as well. So pretty good attendance. We were able to get some stuff done, and we were able to get some 5-on-5 work in as well.
Follow-up question lang before Diane fires her first question. How is Brownlee? How is Kabayan JB?
He's meshing very well, and this is not JB's first time with us. Remember, even for the previous window, he was already practicing with us, right? He was already part of our preparation for the 5th window. Even if he knew that he couldn't play, he was already coming to practice and helping us out. So a lot of the things we're doing here are no longer new to him. He's already pretty familiar with what we're doing. But of course, now he's getting the opportunity to play with guys he's never played with before, like Junmar, CJ Perez, and all these guys. So these are the guys that he's playing with for the first time, and that's why it's important that we get these things done.
Yeah, and I know he's super excited to be playing for the Philippines with that passport. Coach, you must be so happy as compared to before. Ang dami mo ng players ngayon that you can choose from. Di ba? Everybody's
Yeah,
time choosing the lineup na. So we're playing Lebanon on February 24 and then February 27 versus Jordan, both in the Philippines. That's going to be fantastic. The crowd is going to be behind us. Now, with the last time we lost to Lebanon, with this lineup, with Brownlee, without Jordan Clarkson, do you think kaya natin talunin ang Lebanon?
yeah, definitely. If you remember that game, we just got beat by I don't want to call it a lucky shot, but it was aksidente talaga. We blocked the shot. It was a crucial possession. We blocked the shot of Lebanon. It fell into the hands of Arakji last second, the 3-point shot. That was really the difference maker. So hopefully we could be in a better position this time. But if I'm not mistaken, they're going to bring in a different naturalized player.
Oh,
So that remains to be seen. That's just the nature of the international game. And that's why it's a great challenge for us. It really tests our adaptability and our versatility. So for us, our main focus for Lebanon is just to get better. Let's make sure that we are better today in this coming game than we were even in the fifth window. So that's really our focus.
Coach Chot, any idea who is this new naturalized player of Lebanon?
I caught a glimpse of it. Let me check. I don't have it in my at my fingertips now, but I won't be surprised because they really have a kind of a stable or a pool of naturalized players that they can choose from time to time. Nag-iiba-iba sila. So that's going to be an interesting development for us.
Yeah.
Coach, let's talk about the SEA Games. That's going to be happening in May. And the defending gold medalist is Indonesia, who beat us with Bolden. How do you think we're going to fare in this coming Southeast Asian Games? And are you going to be using the same pool that you're using now in preparation for the SEA Games?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Uh, just for the fact that we've now been together for a lot longer than we were the last time when we went to Vietnam. I think we should be better prepared. It's still no guarantee, of course, because Indonesia has been playing really well. They're really playing and blending really well with Bolden. So we still have to be able to go in and play our best basketball. But I think just the fact that we will have more preparation time is going to be important.
Yeah. The hunger to get the gold back.
Yep.
Coach, I'm diverting from the Gilas discussion for a bit. How is your team TNT now with Jolas and consultant Juronovic?
Well, the best way to characterize it is, like I say, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. We're trying to. I think the coaching staff is doing a great job. Jojo and Coach Lale, and even the others, Josh, Sandy, and Yuri are doing an excellent job preparing the team. But like I said. Definitely, we can still get better. There still remains a lot to be desired,
Mm-hmm.
specifically in our defense in talk and text.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to say it's a work in progress.
Coach, we've been talking about FIBA. We crossed over to the Southeast Asian Games. Now we're in the PBA. Now let's move over to the EASL. TNT is going to be playing March 1 to 5 in Japan. Hudson and possibly Prince Ibe will be your second import. Will you be in Japan with the team? And how do you like TNT's chances against Bay Area, against San Miguel Beer, and the other top teams in the EASL Champions Week?
Well, right now, yeah, we're looking at Prince, but there's no certainty there yet. Uh, to be very honest, it's going to be a very difficult competition. You know how strong Bay Area is, and then we're going to be coming from playing in the PBA, and it's going to be again a very good test for the TNT team to play against very different opposition. And we will have very little time to prepare because obviously our focus right now in TNT is this conference, right? So for us to momentarily shift, that's really going to be a challenge for us. Unlike Bay Area right now, their only focus, and they're still here. They're practicing and preparing here. Their only focus is the EASL, and not so with us because right now we like for example now our focus right now is NLEX because that's our next game, and then it's going to be Magnolia. We're not even thinking too much of the EASL right now, so that's going to be a real challenge for us. It's going to be very difficult for both San Miguel and ourselves.
Chot, going back to the Gilas preparation for the World Cup, I saw the exciting news that the team is planning to train somewhere in Europe and the US. Can you tell us more about this? When this will happen? Will it just be training? Will you have practice matches? And who are you going to be able to bring?
Yeah, that's no different from what we did in the past. Our preparation from the World Cup for the World Cup before We trained in Lithuania, we trained in Europe, we trained in France, we trained in Spain, and then we spent 2 or 3 weeks in Miami with Andre Blatch as well. So this is already what we've done previously, and we find that there's a lot of value in not only preparing the team to play better, but in just getting to know each other and cementing the synergy of the team as well. Obviously, we're going to bring the pool, not all 24, but at least 15 guys. We're going to bring 15 guys before we whittle it down to make the final determination of who the final roster is going to be. But who those guys are, it's still too early to tell. It's really going to depend on who's going to be playing at their best when that time comes. We still don't have final dates. Definitely, we want to play a lot of teams. Remember in 2014, Kinito, we went to France. We got our behinds kicked by Ukraine, Australia, France. All these teams really gave us a hard time, beat us by huge margins. But by the time we got to Spain and we played Dominican Republic and all these other teams, I felt that really prepared us to play the way we did in the actual World Cup in the competition in Spain. So hopefully we get the same kind of preparation as well this year.
That's exciting.
Yeah. What about pocket tournaments? You mentioned that there may be games in Europe, in the US. Where exactly in Europe are you planning to take the team, and where exactly in the US? And will there be a pocket tournament in Manila before the World Cup?
Yeah, there are a couple of options for us now in Europe. The reason why we can't finalize it yet because there's so many moving parts. Number one, and number two, the same thing with in the US. We're trying to see if there are some tournaments that we can play in. But definitely, when we come back here for the final preparations, we want to host a pocket tournament, perhaps a 4-nation tournament of countries or teams that are already going to be here early to start preparing for the World Cup. Several countries have already contacted us expressing interest to play. We know there is already going to be a US versus Spain in Spain somewhere. So these countries are already preparing to play each other. We want to get in on those games as well. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's not that easy because there are just too many moving parts.
Super exciting. Coach, on your latest communications with Jordan Clarkson, when do you think you'll be able to join the Gilas prep for the World Cup?
Well, the reason why we want to train in the US is so that he's already there. Just the same thing that we did with Andre Blatch before. We went to where Andre was in Miami, and we trained so that Andre didn't have to get too far from home. Same thing with Jordan. We go there. We go to a place where Jordan can join us easily. At the same time, have the luxury of playing quality teams. Getting our training camp done and playing quality teams as well in the US.
Coach Chot,
But so
World Cup.
we're taking
But
a look at July for that, for Jordan to be able to join middle of June
nice.
or early July.
Okay. Coach, talking about the World Cup, what are our goals? You think advancing to the second round is doable?
You know me, I'm a very optimistic person, Kinito. Yes, of course. Our
Yes.
goal is always to get better. The last time we were there, we won one game. We were one game away from advancing. Hopefully, we can get another win in the first round and get at least to the second round. I think that would be a huge accomplishment.
Nice. Coach, going back to the PBA for a bit, the Dragons playing in the PBA in the last conference. Having seen that, do you think it was a good idea to invite them and in the future to have more foreign teams? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a good idea. We just have to figure out the rules on the who to allow to play, and because I thought this was a kind of an experimental thing. But in the future, if we're able to, if we want to do it again, I'm very open to it. We just need to be able to streamline the
Yeah.
rules on the player personnel, just to make so that it's more um, uh, just to be able to even the playing field.
Okay, Coach, let's talk about the FIBA World Cup draw. That will be on April 29. So far, at this moment, 17 slots have been taken by countries. So we're looking at 15 more to qualify. By the way, still not qualified, but of course will qualify are US,
U.S.
Argentina, Serbia, Puerto Rico, Brazil. Those teams have not yet qualified formally, although it looks like they will. It looks like they will. Um, just looking at the teams that have qualified so far, from Asia, it'll be Japan, Philippines, China, New Zealand, and Lebanon. They're all qualified. Ivory Coast has qualified. Finland, Canada, Germany, Latvia, Italy, Spain has qualified. Slovenia, Lithuania, France, and Greece. So for Europe, there are three more slots open, and that will be taken by Serbia, I guess, Montenegro, and Georgia. For Asia, my guess is Jordan and Iran will
Yep.
join us. And then for the Americas, well, six more tickets are open. So I guess it's a wide open scramble for Venezuela, Puerto Rico, US. If you had a choice,
Yeah.
since there will be a draw on April 29, what kind of countries do you think the Philippines would be most comfortable playing in the group stage on the first round?
Well, for sure, we won't have any other Asian countries in our group. I think that the draw is going to be done so that we won't have any Asian countries in our group. Just going from past experience, we did well against the African countries. I'm not saying they're weak by any stretch. The African countries are very, very strong, but we did pretty well against them. We did pretty well as well against Puerto Rico. We lost against with those two 3-point shots of
JJ
what's his
Barea.
name, Barea,
Barea.
yeah, Barea. So just going by past experience, obviously we want to have that kind of situation again. But in the end, if you really look at it, ang tawag nga sa Tagalog doon, wala ka namang pipiliin doon. Walang
No.
mahina. You know, you
Lahat
be careful what
malalakas.
you wish for. Yeah, you be
Yeah,
careful what you wish for. Yeah, right.
right, right. Okay, well, Diane, we've got loads of questions to ask Coach Shot coming from our viewers.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time from the practice. So we're just gonna like quickly
Just go
throw
through these
by the
questions.
questions. We have a question from Alvin. He says, "Will there be two sets of a 12-man lineup for Lebanon in the Jordan game?"
No, not two different 12-man sets, but what we've done before is we'd replace 2 or 3 players from one game to the next, and maybe that will be the case again today. Again, we're not. I'm not speaking with any finality because that
Mhm.
has to be determined with the coaching staff as well. All the
Okay,
decisions we make are decisions made by the coaching staff, including Coach Tim, Coach Jong as well. So it's not my decision alone.
from Tex Winter MD for Coach Chot Reyes, is AJ Edu invited for the coming World Cup pool training?
Yes, he is part of the pool. Not for this window, obviously, because he's not available. But for the World Cup, yes, he is part of the pool.
Okay.
Okay, next
More,
question is from
Gian Ando?
Gian Ando. Sir, pwede po kaya sa World Cup ang ganitong setup ng lineup ng players? 15-man, including 2 naturalized players, tapos 12-man lineup every game. Thanks po.
Hindi pwedeng 2 naturalized players. We can only play 1 naturalized player.
Mhm.
We can only have 1 naturalized player. And in the World Cup itself, we have to submit a 12-man lineup, and that's it. Pag
Mm.
may na-injury dan, sana wag naman, hindi ka na pwede magpalit.
Okay, from JC Lagaspi, are you going to use the same team for World Cup and Asian Games?
That's a good question. That remains to be seen. You know how our experience was in the past, right, Kinito? We performed very well in the World Cup, but we got really, really tired and worn out, and we didn't perform as well in the Asian Games because the Asian Games then was just what, a week or two after the World Cup. So again, that remains to be seen. Now there's going to be some. It's almost the same situation because the Asian Games is going to be towards the end of October. So I think there will be more space. So that still remains to be seen as of now.
Okay, Diane?
Okay, so from Christopher Manuel, will there be a Gilas playbook wherein all and former players together in any moment in a game in the qualifiers? Please ask if the game scenario would require chemistry from players Brownlee, Japeth, Scotty, Malonzo, and Tolentino.
I don't get the question. If it's a playbook, yeah, we have, but we are very wary of having physical written down playbooks because they get lost and passed along, and it ends up in other people's hands quite easily. So we're very careful with that. But suffice to say, all the players know everything that we're doing.
I think the question was more in keeping with trying to make plays involving just the players who are familiar with each other, like all the Ginebra players playing together at one time. Hindi naman siguro.
Yeah, when we're in Gilas, we're Gilas. There
Right.
is no other affiliation. When we are together, we are Gilas.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Coach Chot, si JB lalaro sa Asian Games at babalik ka as TNT head coach from PBA Addict.
Good question. That's hindi mo na natin naiisip yan because right now our focus is just on the sixth window and the World Cup. I think the Asian Games is second half of the year. Dami pang mangyayari between now and that time. So pasensya na, hindi mo na natin pa iniisip masyado yan.
Yung
Okay.
other half of the question about JB lalaro sa Asian Games, I guess that's a yes.
Oh, I don't think that's a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yung question ni Ramon Monasterio, I think you already answered later. If we can beat Lebanon without Clarkson, the answer was yes, kaya, syempre. And the next question is, if you've thought of inviting Cedric Bearfield to play in the upcoming SEA Games, is there a chance that he can play in the SEA Games?
Yeah, because it depends what the eligibility rules are from SEA Games to SEA Games, from Asian Games to Asian Games. The eligibility rules keep changing, so we have no idea what it's going to be these coming SEA Games. But we've tried to contact Cedric way past 10 years ago, but he wasn't eligible. So we unfortunately we had to move on from that.
But it looks like he does have a passport.
Yeah.
Well, one final question, Coach Chot, if I may. How would you describe the Philippine style of basketball that we are going to unravel in the World Cup as compared to the European style, as compared to the American style? Is it going to be a hybrid? Because I remember in the World Cup in 2014 in Spain, when you were coach of the Philippine team, the other coaches from the other teams, in particular, and players like Pablo Prioni of Argentina, who's now an assistant coach in the NBA, came up to me and said, "Boy, your coach is so unconventional." And we didn't know what was happening. We almost beat Argentina. Coach Chot, how would you describe our team?
Yeah, we have a very peculiar way of playing, right? And I always like to say that's the Filipino bara style of basketball, and we like to call it that way. But when you look beneath it, there is a very definite scheme. It appears to be a no system style of basketball, and that's how we want our opponents to think, that we play with no rhyme or reason, no system, but there is a very definite discipline behind it. And hopefully, that's the only way we can win. I don't think if we play European style, I don't think we can out-European the Europeans. I don't think we can out American the Americans if we try to play American style. I don't think we can win playing those styles. So we have to be very unpredictable. And granted, sometimes masakit sa mata, but we need to find a way which will give us a chance to win. Like
Okay.
I said, if we try to use size or athletic ability, I don't know if we can beat those other teams.
Diane,
Unique,
your last question?
uniquely Filipino, and of course, you cannot discount the heart of the players plus the crowd, the 6 man on the court.
Yep.
That's like cheering like crazy for us. I can imagine. Coach, last na lang, baka you wanna like have a message for the basketball community, all the fans who are super excited for this upcoming World Cup.
Yeah, we're just asking everyone for their continued support. We're facing a very, very difficult challenge, but the players who spend their time, everyone who came here tonight, the Ginebra players, the Token Tech, all the PBA players came from another practice, and this was their second practice for the day, and still they came out and play hard just to give you an idea of the sacrifice that everyone is making for this program for this team. So all we ask is your support. We are not perfect. We're going to make mistakes, but hopefully you can continue cheering for us regardless.
We're
Well,
cheering
prayers for
for
Gilas and more power to Coach Chot.
yes. Thank you.
We want to thank you again for spending time with us. I know it was short notice, but you always find time to accommodate PlayItRight TV. And for that, we're very, very grateful. Thanks so much, Coach Chot.
Thank
More
you.
power. We're always here to support you.
God
Bye.
bless.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, Coach. Well, Diane, that was another exciting and very revealing interview with Coach Chot Reyes. You know, he's been bashed, he's been cheered, but he's our head coach, and he's going to take us all the way to the World Cup, and we're supporting him 100%.
Well, you can sort of feel the energy sort of building up, and it's so nice to see that we have a full lineup, and I know that the crowd is going to be really behind us. And parang I was having flashbacks of that 2014 nga nung when we scored those unbelievable wins with Coach Chot. So sana let's pray that will happen again. I'm really excited for like he said, the US and the European swing yung training natin doon, because I know that's gonna really give us a good push and develop the game, especially since we heard that Jordan Clarkson will be able to join some of those sessions. So all the best to our Gilas Filipinas. Let's keep praying and supporting them.
Well,
So
thanks very much again for everyone watching us. And Diane, I know you're still in New York. When are you coming home?
Tuesday, the flight got
All right.
delayed. But yeah, I'm watching my son who's playing in Division 1 tennis. I didn't have much time with him in the Philippines because I had to leave for the Miss Universe. So I was able to watch the first match of the team. It was really exciting. It's so competitive here. Iba talaga yung pressure ng college tennis. But I'm happy that it's really good. It's really good for the boys. So yeah, next
Good
couple.
news for Philippine sports.
Yeah.
And well, thank you again for all the Play It Right TV viewers for joining us in this exciting episode. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more and more of our viewers will turn out to be followers, subscribers, so we can grow with everyone and make Play It Right TV even stronger in the future.
Yes,
Thanks very much. This
if
is
you
Gilly
have
Pants.
if you have suggestions on who you want us to interview, let us know, and we hope that we'll be able to give that to you. And please, it's a new year. I'm sure all of you have a health resolution, a fitness resolution. So if you are involved in a sport or in a new fitness program, you need new equipment. So please check out PlayItRight.com. They have world-class brands for different sports and the fitness enthusiasts. That's PlayItRight.com. Maraming salamat, Diane Castillejo po. Until the next time, thank you for joining Play It Right TV.